What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 153. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. This is our official Game of the Year 2022. We're going to go through our top 10 games of the year.
Yes, we are.
Even though we are one podcast, we will have our separate lists. We don't really like to fight with trying to get what we think should be number one, what should be number two. We're just going to do our own separate list. We're going to go through it starting at 10, make our way all the way down to number one, and we'll each nominate our game of the year. But before we get started, my name is Harrison. I am joined by my brother, Nick, as always. How you doing, buddy?
As always. I'm good.
Good.
Man, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this day, to Game of the Year 2022. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some surprises in there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think so.
I think I'll surprise you a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do our top 10 games of the year. We're gonna do maybe like some honorable mentions that just didn't quite cut it, and then probably and the most disappointing game of the year. Not necessarily the worst game of the year, because there are way worse games than what we'll probably mention, but just a game that you were looking forward to, and maybe it just didn't live up to the standards that you thought it was going to be. So something like that. So not the worst game of the year, just a disappointing game. But Nate, before we dive into that, how was your week? We'll kick it off like normal.
It was
what week was there?
It was good. Yeah, first week back from break, a little rough.
Yeah,
but nothing too terrible. And then our buddy Adam, he came up this weekend, stayed with us Friday night. So we hung out and then went to a murder mystery party on Saturday.
Cool. What did that like? How did that work?
So everyone gets like a character role beforehand, and you kind of like dress up as your character. So it took place at a play.
Okay.
And there was a murder at the play. So you had like your actors, you had your producers. I was a playwright. You had your like talent agents. Everyone involved in a play.
Was this at somebody's house or like a?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know your role beforehand, but you don't know whether or not you did it until you get there.
Okay.
And it's completely random. Like everyone could have done it. And there's kind of like two scripts that you'd follow if you did it or if you didn't. Like if you're guilty or innocent, you kind of follow certain scripts and certain, I don't know, just certain ways of speaking.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but
nice.
Yeah, felt good. Felt good to be clean,
So is there like a game master that like knows, or I guess you just said it's random, right? So nobody.
Yeah.
I guess that makes it the most fun. For everybody.
Yeah, we had like a list of questions that we would ask each other, and then you'd have like answers.
Okay.
Specific to those questions that you could answer with.
Okay. Cool.
But like only one person guessed the correct killer.
Wow. Okay. How many people were involved?
It was like 12 people, 10 or 12 people.
Okay.
So there were a good amount, but
Sweet.
Everyone thought it was me because I was the, oh my gosh, what is it called when you have an affair with somebody? I was the master, not the mistress, but
I don't even know.
What do you call that?
The adulterer? The adulterer?
Yeah, I was like the adulterer
of
the woman whose husband was killed.
Okay.
So everyone's like, oh, obviously it was you.
Right.
Yeah, you were sneaking off with her.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was really fun.
Sweet.
And then I obviously not going to talk about this in our top 10 or anything, but I picked up this VR game called Smash Drums.
I did. I saw the TikTok. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like Rock Band, except you're playing on like a real drum kit.
Oh wow!
And I don't know. I kind of saw it randomly and realized how much I missed Rock Band drums, and I picked it up and like it feels like incredible to play. Like the haptics and the vibrations are really good, so it feels like you're making impact on a drum set.
That's cool.
And the songs are actually pretty good. Like I don't know any of them, but some of them are kind of got some bangers on there.
Can you buy like today's hit stuff like you can in Beat Saber or something like that, or is it just kind of
it's
non-licensed?
I think eventually you will. They said
Okay.
that like purchasable song packs were coming
Okay.
from like rock bands, but
That's cool.
right now it's just like songs that they got on there.
Okay. Man, I do miss like rock band nights. That was always like
Yeah,
such a fun time. I have Rock Band 4, like all have all the instruments ready to go. They're just up in my attic right now. Just they're just so
love that
hard.
game
Like
so
they're just
much.
it's I don't know,
It,
man.
it's kind of an eyesore, and it's just
Yeah.
hard to play on because you gotta put it away. Takes up a lot of room. It's just kind of this ugly plastic thing.
Man, I could get a guitar stand for my plastic guitar. I mean,
Yeah,
go all in, man.
yeah, very 2008.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of plastic stuff around the
Yeah.
house.
It's all right.
How's your week? How you doing?
Doing good. I feel like I am, and hopefully it'll go away. But I'm in a little bit of a video game slump. Um, I did not
Mhm.
even I didn't really touch more of Mario and Rabbids. I said I was. I haven't started Pokemon yet. I've been mainly working on a lot of like getting YouTube videos and stuff out and
Yeah.
getting rearranging my room and stuff like that, and just kind of enjoying my just sitting here and enjoying watching TV and stuff. So a little bit of a slump, but I know that's going to be coming to an end when we got Fire Emblem here in a couple weeks. Um,
Yes, I kind of feel the same way, and I'm so excited for Fire Emblem that I
yeah,
don't really want to play anything else
yeah.
right
Like I'm
now.
I'm weird. Like I'm weirdly excited because like I'm not a big Fire Emblem guy, but everything that I've seen. It's kind of back to basics. What I grew up on, like on the Game Boy Advance games, like everything's
Yeah,
kind of back to basics. There's no like multiple
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 routes.
routes that you tweeted out today. So it's just very back to basics, and that's I think that was the biggest like off-putting thing about Three Houses, right? Three
Yeah,
Houses.
three houses.
It's just I knew that game was massive, and I'm okay with like big games, but when there's multiple branches and you have to play the game multiple times to get the full story, that could be very off-putting for someone
It's
who's
a bit
not,
overwhelming.
yeah, not a huge fan of the series. But I'm excited, man. I still got my special edition pre-ordered, so
Yeah.
I don't even know why I pre-ordered that dumb thing, but hey, here we are. I'm just a sucker for Nintendo's special editions. So
What did you pre-order it through?
Best Buy.
Ah, shit. Okay, I did GameStop, and mine's gonna arrive like three
Oh,
to four
did
days
you get the
after.
special edition?
Yeah, yeah. But I might just pick up the digital edition so I can play day one.
Okay, and then just cancel the special or just keep it.
No, keep it, man. Keep it. Keep it. Leave
Just
it.
keep
Leave
it.
it
Yeah,
closed.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But other than that, just kind of a normal, like you said, kind of just get back to the swing of things with work.
Yeah.
But I mean, come back to a 4-day week, so it's not too terrible. So, and then just kind of a low key weekend since last week was kind of crazy with New Year's Eve and stuff like that. It was nice to kind of chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Did play a lot of
Nice.
Halo. I've just been grinding, man. It's fun, dude.
Still loving it.
I still loving it, man. I'm still enjoying that.
A little Halo
Um,
boy.
yeah, just a little Halo guy, man.
A little
I'm
Halo
ready
boy.
for season 3 coming out here in like 2 months. I think I'm like level 63 or 4 on the second battle pass, so I'm just inching my way through that thing.
Nice.
So it's a good time. But yeah, other than that, today I finally got all the Christmas stuff up. Got up on the roof.
Got it all put away.
Got all the lights, the rest of the lights down. I started like the beginning of the week getting all the stuff around like the front yard, um, and then finally got everything else on the roof down and got it put away. And I'm a genius this year because the biggest issue with like Christmas lights is I don't know. By the time you get them down and stuff like that, like having to wrap them up and then you put them away, and then like somehow the next year they're still all tangled together. What I did is I got like the really big like freezer gallon, like the 2.5 gallon bags, and I
Yeah.
just stuffed each strand into one bag, and that way everything is separate when I do it next year. It's gonna
Oh,
be awesome.
smart.
Yeah. So
Planning ahead. I like it.
yes, super excited for that. Just homeowner stuff that gets you excited. So
Putting
yeah.
away lights.
Yeah. Did you I didn't like I said, I didn't really play much of anything. I played a slight bit of Mario and Rabbids and some Halo. Did you play anything
I
worth
played a
noting?
bit of Near
Hmm.
Automata, and I've gotten to the point where I'm farther than I was on Xbox, so I'm
Okay.
seeing new content.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really good. I'm like 5 hours in, 4 or 5 hours in, so not super deep,
Okay.
but kind of seeing all the strings, seeing everything kind of coming together in a little bit. I'm sure I'm like not deep at all, and I don't actually know anything, uh, but it's
It's a
cool.
pretty long game, right?
I heard it's like 20 hours, but you're
Oh, okay.
supposed to play through it multiple times, and there are like different routes/paths you take in
Okay.
subsequent playthroughs.
Okay. I mean, does it like a new game plus scenario, kind of like, like I don't know, Elden Ring, where it takes you forever to beat it, but then once you go back
Probably.
through, you can kind of just
Yeah, I
fly
don't know
through
for
it.
sure, but I'm assuming it's
Okay.
like the second playthrough wouldn't be as long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm already got stuff on my backlog right now, and we're not even into two
Yeah.
weeks
Got a
to
heavy backlog.
and I want to play Chained Echoes too, because that sounds like it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Um,
been playing more of that. That one's really good too.
I've been hearing some really good things about that. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I know there's gonna be some time between. I mean, we don't know what Nintendo's gonna be doing in like really March and April. So maybe that'll be a good time for me to dive into that. But then there's like Atomic Heart coming out and Dead Space. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
I mean, Dead Space is this month, so
Yeah, yeah, Dead Space,
I'm gonna buckle up that one.
and then Resident Evil's in April. So never mind. I don't have time to play
Yeah.
anything.
No more old games, right?
Yeah, no more older games. Forget about it. All right, Nick, you ready to get it started?
Yeah. Did you want to start with most disappointing, or did you want to jump into top 10?
So I'm gonna backtrack a year, and I'm gonna go through both of our. I got it pulled up here. I got it.
Oh,
We'll
nice.
go through, and then we'll just briefly talk about it if we still agree with it. If not, it's fine. So
Okay.
at my number 10 last year of 2021, I had Outriders. Um, you had
Cool.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which I played Guardians of the Galaxy this year, so that definitely would have made my top 10.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me was Forza 5. Number 9 for you was Psychonauts 2. Number
Nice.
8 was Little Nightmares 2 for me. Number 8 was Forza 5 for you. Number 7 was It Takes Two, and I remember I hadn't finished it at this point. And then number 7 was Ratchet and Clank.
Mm.
Um, Number 6, I have it abbreviated. What is BF?
BF?
BF. Your number 6 was Monster Hunter Rise. BF. Why can't I think of? Anyways, I'll come back to it. My number 5 was Psychonauts 2. Your number 5 was Death's Door. My number
Nice.
4 was Death's Door. Yours was Resident Evil 8. My number 3 was Resident Evil 8. Yours was It Takes Two. Both of our number 2 were Halo Infinite, and then our game of the year was Metroid Dread.
Nice. Did you have Little Nightmares on there?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to. BF Blue Fire was the only game that,
No, it wasn't. I didn't even play Blue
because you
Fire.
didn't play Blue Fire.
BF. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, must not have been that good.
Well, on our list last year, I had to like abbreviate stuff because it was making the columns weird, but we should be fixed this year. But I don't see anything like B on your list, so it
No.
was evidently something I liked more than you did. I don't know. And then our shout outs were Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Skyward Sword, and Mario Party Superstars.
Nice. Yeah, good shout outs.
I mean, Metroid Dread, man, that's still game of the year for me.
Yeah.
That game is incredible.
No regrets on Game of the Year 2021.
Yeah. Like I said, if I would have played Guardians, I think that definitely would have been on my list, and probably went a little bit further. And Forza 5 probably would have been my top 10, or like the 10th game. But I mean, Resident Evil 8, Halo, Death's Door was just incredible. Obviously, It Takes Two was a huge game. I really liked Little Nightmares too. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Monster Hunter Rise, you like that a lot. Ratchet and Clank.
What is BF? I can't get that in my head.
Let's see. Games in 2022.
2021 game
2021.
BF. The Battlefield?
It was not Battlefield. Can I do that? I don't think I can do it.
Like, what did you play that I didn't? That's
Oh, Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, nice.
Yeah, Bowser's Fury. Okay.
Glad we figured that one out.
Yeah. But yeah, let me go ahead and switch on over. Well, I'll switch over here in a second. So yeah, let's do our like you said, you want to start with most disappointing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Um, what was your most disappointing? You can have more than one. I mean, if you have a couple that you didn't like, or
Yeah, I have two.
Okay.
Technically, no, I just have two.
Okay.
I might, if I were to rank them, number two would be Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in that game. I liked it, but I definitely didn't like it as much as I wish I would have.
Yeah.
And it really just comes down to the quality of life stuff that they added in after the game came out that they should have added in much earlier. So that's disappointing. That game could have been a lot better than it started. And yeah. But number one, obviously, Sports Story.
Sports Story. Okay.
That game came out like an old turd. I mean, that thing just I don't know, man. I was so excited. That was like one of the two indie Switch games that I was really excited for.
Yeah.
That and Hollow Knight. But yeah, just kind of let me down on all fronts, and it wasn't super fun. So I put it down. But what about you? What was your most disappointing?
Mine was Callisto.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, if they would have just cut that game in half and you didn't have that second half, I would have been totally fine. But like you said, that quality of life stuff. I don't know if you booted it up recently.
No, I haven't checked it out.
It really like. I mean, that latter half was still kind of bad with all those same bosses, but it would have just been so much like. I don't even want to say easier, but it would just been a lot less frustrating having to deal with that. With just the quicker weapon swap in. Not like I didn't even really care about the health thing. I know that took forever, but like I never found myself having time in combat to even try to heal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being able to weapon swap quickly was huge. And again, I mean, we said it before, but just play test your games. Like I know they probably did, but there's no way that someone didn't bring that up when they had their meetings and stuff like that. I know
they were probably just ignored.
Yeah, I mean, I know the director said he wanted a realistic, game, but I mean, come on, it's a game in space where you're dealing with like zombie like enemy. Like, come on, there's nothing realistic about it. Give us some quality. Like the game would still be challenging. Like you still have to dodge and all that stuff. So yeah, most disappointing for me. And the game's still good. Like it's not a bad game by any means, but it just could have been so much better. Like it could have definitely hit my top 10 if that quality of life was there.
Totally agreed. Sorry, I just made one last change to mine.
But yeah, other than that, that's about it. I haven't played Pokemon yet, and I didn't plan on picking up Pokemon until you got it for me. So I don't know. I can't really be disappointed when I didn't pay for it. So.
Hey, I still want you to be honest about it.
I definitely will.
Yeah, if you're disappointed, just say so.
Oh yeah, I mean I will. I haven't played it yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Once I get into it, yeah, I'm definitely going to.
Because if you say it's good, I'll probably get it. But if you say it's bad, so yeah.
I'm fixing something real quickly on our list.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. All right. Well, let's just dive into it. Pull up my documentation. All right. So, Nick, do you want to start it off, or do you want me to start it off?
You start it off.
Okay.
You go ahead.
All right, well, I'm gonna bust out my handy dandy list here. All right, so
You guys
at
got a
number
list.
10, I've got Splatoon 3.
Oh my god, I forgot about Splatoon 3.
Quit. I mean, you haven't put anything in. You can make some changes, man. We keep it professional here at Gaming is the Broadcast, guys. You know. Honestly, I kind of did too.
Shoot, yeah, I totally forgot about
I
it.
almost didn't include it. I'll talk about it while you're looking at it. I almost didn't include it just because it's so. I mean, I love Splatoon. I love the gameplay, but I really haven't touched it, the
Yeah.
multiplayer, since it came out. And it's really, I know they're doing some stuff. I know they got some updates and stuff coming out. I'll definitely jump back into it at some point, but it's really not much different than 2. And I thought 2 is incredible, and 2 wasn't really that much different than 1.
Yeah.
But I did really like what they did with the story mode this time. I thought it was much better. Yeah, the story mode was pretty good. I really enjoyed that, and that's why I've got it listed at 10 for the story
Nice.
mode. But yeah, it's good.
All right, I'm letting cards lie how they are.
Okay.
Splatoon 3 is not making the list.
Okay.
I loved it, but obviously I didn't love it enough to think about it.
Well, I
So
guess
it's
when are we
nixed.
gonna do honorable mentions?
We can do that at the end.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that at the end.
Okay.
That way it's a surprise for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so my number 10 is A Plague Tale Requiem.
It's that. Oh my gosh, is that low on the list? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I really did like it. Thinking back on it, I think it dragged a little bit towards like the middle end area, but the story really kept me going.
Yeah.
And I would have liked it a lot more had it have not been brought down by its boss fights and like the big encounters in that game. Like all the other combat was really good and really enjoyable. And of course, like the game was like beautiful and the story was really cool. And man, maybe it should be higher on my list. But but yeah, I just feel like there were a few things that brought it down a little bit.
Okay.
In my
I mean,
mind.
that makes sense. Cool. All right. Let me pull my back.
I can type mine in.
Okay. What I got next? All right. My number 9 is Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta, nice.
I really like this game. I think the combat was pretty solid. I really like the kaiju enemies and all the different creative like fights they did with that stuff. I thought that all that stuff was super cool. But the game was just messy. There was way too much going on. There was too many weapons, which I know is kind of crazy to say, but there was just too many weapons that I never really had. Felt like I had the time to really dig into each one. I know. I guess they wanted you after you got the new weapon and like the new monster. They wanted you to use it for the next, level or whatever. I'm thinking that's the case, but yeah, I just felt like there was too much going on. The story was all over the place. It was hard to keep up in a lot of spots with the whole multiverse thing going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm just kind of over the multiverse thing right now. I don't, with especially I know Marvel and Bayonetta are completely different, but that's what we've got going on now in Marvel. So it's just like I don't need everything else to be multiverses. And again, I know that's just a personal thing, but I'm sure that's what a lot of people think too. But yeah, the story was kind of all over the place. But I thought the combat was still pretty solid. I still think Bayonetta 2 is my favorite out of the 3.
100%.
But yeah, it was a solid game.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings on Bayonetta 3 because I loved 2, but like I just felt like 3 kind of fell flat.
Yeah,
like the story wasn't compelling, and the sections where you're not playing as Bayonetta just aren't as fun.
Yeah, I did not. What's the what's
Viola?
Viola. Yeah, I did not like playing her at all. I just could not nail down like the witch time with her with having to reflect or whatever or parry. I just didn't feel like it felt really good to do that. And then like the
Yeah.
stuff with I don't know the other I can't remember her name, but the other witch where you're doing like the 2D side scrolling stuff was okay. I thought,
Oh,
but there was like
Sean.
yeah, Jean. It was I thought it was like
Mhm.
I think one time doing that would have been like cool, but they did it like 3 or 4 times throughout the story, and it got a little I don't know,
It
got a
got to be a
little
little
old
much.
quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Nice, Kirby getting some
Get some
love.
love, like well deserved. Like this
Yes.
game, it kind of came like at the perfect time. I don't know if you remember, it came out right after Elden Ring, so we had obviously just been grinding away at that game,
Yeah.
and obviously that's a very like
Did it come out before? It came out after Elden Ring.
yeah, it came out after it came
Okay.
out in March.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but like
surprised.
just going
I'm surprised I even played it, to be honest. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just like a palate cleanser.
right, yeah, going from Elden Ring to like a kind of a cutesy game like Kirby,
Yeah,
but then it gets super anime at the end.
it
And like the ending
does.
of that game is just like bonkers.
Yeah,
I thought it was so cool.
that Coliseum mode. I don't think I ever beat it. It gets pretty hard towards the end of that
Yeah, I
game.
never beat it either. I beat like one of them, like one or two of them, but
Yeah,
there's that last one that
yeah,
it's pretty brutal.
yeah. It is. But yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah. Number 9. There we go.
Sweet. All right, let's see. My number 8, High on Life.
High on Life.
This game, man, this game came out of nowhere for me. I had seen a little bit of coverage that they had shown off, and it never really clicked with me. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention enough to it, but um, just came out and just downloaded it, and after about 30 minutes with it, it just super clicked. I thought it was hilarious. I don't think every joke necessarily landed, but for the most part, I mean that game was just hilarious. And I mean, it's just one of those things where like you could be still for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and the game's like yelling at you, but it's
Yeah.
funny. It's not annoying, and just like little things like you can look off the edge of a cliff, and the gun the Galarian will say like, oh, don't kill yourself, not don't do don't
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 do it.
don't do it. um and it's got Tim Robinson in the game. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's
Yeah.
just so good. Like there's so many good things to like. And again, I know we mentioned this in the past when we were first talking about it. Don't listen to Twitter. Just give it a shot if you haven't
Just
already.
try it.
If you don't like it after 30, 45 minutes, you're probably not going to like it, but it's really good. I mean, the gameplay is solid. It's not doing anything super special, but the story and the just the voice acting and stuff is it's really
Mhm.
it's a really fun ride. It's a really fun ride,
It
and it's
is.
not
It's
very
really
long
fun.
either.
Was it like 7 or 8 hours? Maybe a
Something
little
like
bit
that.
longer.
Yeah, maybe even less if you don't do any of like the side stuff. So
True.
yeah, solid game. High on Life is really good.
Yeah, it is. All
What is
right.
your number 8?
My number 8 is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I finished this game before for the end of the year because like I had played through the first like 2 worlds and I wasn't blown away. I was obviously enjoying it and I'd really liked the first game, but like it just hadn't clicked with me yet. And then I got to the third and the fourth worlds and they were just really fun. Like I'm not too hot on like the all the side missions and side quests and all that stuff. Like I'd rather it be like the first game where you're just going from battle to battle.
Yeah.
Um, but the combat is like really good. Like just all of the like the synergy you can have between your characters and it like if you're playing it fast enough, it almost feels like it's like a live action game or like you're just playing like a third person shooter
Yeah.
almost because it's just a lot more fluid than the first game in terms of your movement and what you're able to do with your abilities and all that stuff and
Yeah.
feels really good to play. The menus, I've talked about this before, but the menus take a while to load, even if you're just like pressing start to switch around your loadout. So that can get a little grating, but other than that, like, don't have too many bad things to say about the game. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I've really liked what I've played, like maybe 2 or ish hours into it. Um, so I can definitely see what you're talking about.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's good. It's one of those like I didn't ever expect a sequel to this game, and for it to be
Yeah.
better than the first one because I thought the first one was really good. It was pretty unique for what it was. So um, yeah, sweet.
All right. Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. Let's see here. I got Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
yep.
Wait, this is the first time our list has
Yeah,
conjoined.
yeah,
That's surprising. Normally we're relatively similar.
yeah. Relatively. Um, yeah, that is kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, everything you said, the Kirby was. This is the first, like, really the first Kirby I've ever played. I actually, played from start to finish.
Mhm.
And I'm a Kirby fan. I don't know if I'll necessarily get the new one or not the new one, but the remake that's coming out.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it'll be a fun co-op game with Kellen. Um, but so I may pick it up in that in that regard because I think that would be kind of fun because I think the biggest thing with Kirby and the Forgotten Land and the co-op versus with that one, everyone gets to play as Kirby. Versus the other
Mhm.
one, you're the was it the Wallabies? What is it?
Waddle Dee.
Waddle Dees. And they don't
Yeah.
have the same powers as Kirby, and you don't get to be the cool car or be the vending machine. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's like a little brother,
yeah,
a
it
little
is,
sister
and
character.
and Nintendo's been kind of weird with their co-op. Like even Bowser's Fury was not great. Co-op was not super great in
Yeah,
that.
that's weird.
I don't like just do like Halo does and just give you a second or third or fourth Master Chief. Like it's okay. Like we, yeah,
I don't know why they can't do that. Why can't they just have like a character with the same parody?
I don't think they want to
Same.
like break the game or make it easier. I don't really know.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, why it shouldn't matter.
It's
But
Kirby.
um, Nick, what is your number 7? And then we'll switch over.
Since we're on the
Or
strategy kick,
yeah,
I'm gonna put Triangle Strategy as my number 7.
I knew it was gonna be on there. That's why I added it to the backdrop.
Yeah, I was like, thanks for adding. Um, I was kind of going back and forth with this game because it's been so long since I played it. I think I played it
Yeah,
back in March or April, and I picked it up on a whim. Didn't know if I was really going to like it, but just having liked, of course, Fire Emblem and other strategy games, I picked it up. Damn, this game has a really good story. There is a lot of dialogue, which is like crazy, but there's a ton of dialogue, but the story is really good if you just stick with it. And of course, the actual battles themselves are really cool. Like this one feels more like Fire Emblem to me than a game like Mario and Rabbids does because you can promote your character
yeah,
and it's just like you have like all these weapons and stuff and it's really cool. Um, sorry, I saw that it's less than a minute. Should we switch over?
yeah. Let's switch over. I'm gonna go say goodnight to Kellen, and then we'll resume it.
All right, we'll be right back. This is a game that I really want to get back to and
Okay.
play through a different route because you can make like they're like decision points throughout the game that really impact the story and where you go and what maps you come across and what areas you go to. So I want to go back and like play through the different routes, but you know we got so much going on. There's so
Yeah,
many games
there's
coming out.
yeah, it's gonna be a crazy year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty close to picking this game up just because I really like that 2D 3D kind of look. Um, but then when I heard about just all the dialogue, I was like, you know what, this is not the right time for me. Especially that this came out in March, I think.
Yeah, it was like late March, I
Okay, so
think.
it was like pretty close to Elden Ring, and I just dumped a month of time into that game, so I think I was ready to take a break. Um,
Yeah.
all
Little
right,
gaming break.
yeah, a little gaming break, nothing wrong with that. All right, switch back over. All right, my number 6, and then we'll be into the top 5 after this. Number 6, Nick. This might surprise you. Signalis.
Whoa.
Yes, this
Dang.
this was not on my radar at all. I had I think I had listened to the Giant Bombs like Game of the Year deliberations, and they had brought it up, and then I think like that week you brought it up too,
Hmm.
and I downloaded it and played it and was just kind of blown away. Like it's that definitely that old school Resident Evil survival horror. It's kind of like a, would you say it's like a top down almost, Nick? Like it's a top down kind of
Yeah, I'd say
game.
it's top down.
Um, but it's very survival horror, like early Resident Evil survival horror, where there's only certain places you can save. You don't There's not ribbons or anything like
Hmm.
that, so you can save whenever you want. Um, but there is no also auto save. So when you save, don't go out and do a whole bunch of stuff and forget to save because it'll mess you up. But there's super
Yes.
limited ammo. There's items that break that you can use for melee, like the stun baton. I think it's called something different, but it's like a stun baton.
Like a
Um,
disposable
yeah.
stun thing. I don't know.
There's like burning of the enemies so they won't come back because some will. That's super cool. And then just all the puzzles. I think all the puzzles were really, really smart, and they didn't feel like they were impossible to figure out. And when you do figure it out,
Yeah.
it makes you feel really good. It makes you feel really
Yeah.
smart. So, yeah, I did not expect to love this thing as much as I did, and yeah, I was pretty mesmerized by this thing the whole way through.
Yeah. Awesome. That's nice to hear. I still need to go back and finish it up. I have like an hour left.
Yeah, you're super
Um,
close.
yeah, like I went and played a little bit again, but yeah, for those who might be confused, I thought I finished it,
Yeah, it's got
and
it's
then
got
and then
a fake out
Harrison and I
ending.
talked about it. Yeah, it's like a fake out.
Yeah. But it's not a very long game. Like I think it's under like 12
Yeah,
hours or something like that.
yeah, it's like I'd say it's around 10 hours,
Yeah, I'm
depending on how
not
slow
quite
you take
sure
it.
because I think I had left it running one night, so like it counted like 10 extra hours than what I actually put
Oh,
into. I think it's one of those games where if you leave it running like in that, because I played it on an Xbox, if you leave it running in like the queue or whatever,
oh, it'll keep
it'll
running.
keep running, and I didn't realize that the first time I played it, and I was like, why am I 16 hours in? Oh wait, crap. Um,
Oh dang.
but yeah, really, if you're looking for a survival horror game, because there's not a lot this year,
No,
or
there's
in
not.
2022, I would definitely recommend giving it a shot because it's really fun. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, play this before Dead Space
Yeah,
and Resident Evil 4 and all the other horror games this year. Get it in.
get it in.
All right, my number 6, Pokemon Legends,
Nice.
Arceus.
Okay. Yes.
Uh,
Glad to
yeah,
see
I
it.
mean we've talked about this game a bunch, but this was such a surprise
Yeah.
earlier in 2022. I think it was like the first major game of last year, and I wasn't expecting too much, but like I loved it. I
Yep.
loved the catching mechanic. I thought that just carried the game completely.
It did.
Like that was so fun. Like it's what we've wanted since Pokemon first came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like we just wanted to have like an open world Pokemon where you can go around and just sneak around in the grass, catch Pokemon, catch a bunch, catch as many as you want. Doesn't matter. And
Just
then
chucking balls at left and
just
right, man.
balls everywhere.
And
Just
like
balls all around.
yeah, dude. Ugh, yeah.
Really great. Like the game looks like absolute garbage, but
It
boy
looks
is
it
it
looks
fun.
great in the first area. Everywhere else
Yeah.
it looks bad. Um
Ye-
yeah.
yes, I would agree with that.
Like
Which is
even the
probably
town
yeah.
looks pretty decent, but yeah, that second
Yeah, it
like
sounds fine.
the swampy muddy area. Oh my god, yeah,
That's
that's like
atrocious.
in 64 graphic. Like no, it's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. But I gave it a pass. Like that's the only Pokemon game where I'm like, you're fine.
And
You
it
can.
and it ran okay. Like it wasn't great, but it was fun enough where the hiccups it didn't detract from the game too
Yeah,
much.
yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
All right. We are in our top 5 now.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it. So Nick, my number 5 is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I knew it was somewhere else. I just didn't know where.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. I'm just gonna say Pokemon Legends. Oh, you did that. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, to piggyback off what you said. I mean, it's incredible. Like, I was so hesitant about getting this game when it first came out. I mean, we came off of Sword and Shield, which I did not like at all, and then we got Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which were just utter trash in my
Instant
opinion.
regret.
Yeah, instant regret. So as we do with Pokemon, we just
silly us.
Silly us. We just dabbled, and it was a good dabble. Like the minute, like the opening, like just getting in there, and after you go through the town, and you get out in like that main just the main first area, and you're just sneaking around, you're throwing Pokeballs. Like the sound effects of like catching the ball, like catching the Pokemon is so good. Like the little I know the sound, but like whenever you encounter a Pokemon, like it just all feels really good, and it gives us like that first glimpse of like what we wanted as a kid, like being in an open world. Granted, these are open zones, but being in an open world, seeing Pokemon out and about, in their respective habitats, it was super unique, and
yeah.
I'm excited to play Violet to see the similarities. Obviously, they don't have the same like the catching mechanics that they do, so that's kind of a bummer. Like it makes you go into the fighting, but also like the fighting was different. Like you had the agile and I can't remember the
strength,
something like that.
Strong, I think it was strong.
Yeah, basically where like it was kind of like Bravely Default, where you could kind of
yeah.
So I mean that was super cool. And then seeing the shiny Pokemon out in the real world for the first time, just out and about, and you heard a little jingle, and then you would see like the little stars and stuff around them. Yeah, this game was amazing, and yeah, obviously I think they're gonna continue on with the Legend series, because I think the game just sold so well. And if they, I don't know, if they have like their mainline Pokemon games where they kind of keep it more traditional, and then they have the Legends, I'll just stick with the Legends, because I mean I like Pokemon, but it's just been so stale for so long, and this was just
breath of fresh air.
Breath of the fresh.
Wow.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
game. Nick, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Neon White.
Nice. I knew it was gonna be on the list too.
Yeah. Had to make an appearance. You just play this game. People gotta play this game. I think it's out everywhere now. The best way to describe it is it's like a FPS speedrunning game.
Yeah.
/ a little bit of a card game, but it's really not. You just pick up weapons via card, and then you can shoot them like an FPS. Skip the story, because the story doesn't matter. But the gameplay is just so excellent that it negates any bad story or anything like that. It's just such an incredibly fun game to play, and I had an absolute blast playing through this thing. It's only like 10 hours long, maybe 12, depending on like if you're actually reading the story or not.
Yeah.
Which I did. But yeah, this is just such a fun game. Like I would really give it a shot. Anyone who's interested, because
yeah, I've thought about it, but
you gotta try it.
Yeah.
Is it on Game Pass?
It might. No, I think it's just on. Is it? You said it's on everything now, or everywhere. It might be on Game Pass. I'm not sure.
Actually, I don't know if it's on Xbox. It might just be PlayStation and Switch.
I think you might be right.
But yeah,
I need to try it.
Yeah, might. Pretty great.
Sweet.
All right. Into the nitty gritty. I know a couple. I think I know 3 out of 4 of yours.
Okay. Number 4, A Plague Tale. Requiem.
Okay. There you go.
Plague Tale. Yeah, I first played this game the first one back in 2021 and just was completely blown away. Like I did not realize how good that game was, and then that just kind of catapulted my hype for Plague Tale Requiem. It doesn't really do following along like the Sony, and I know it's not a Sony exclusive, but following along like the sequel, like third person, like it doesn't do that much different than the first one. I think it's a little bit more actiony. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got like the crossbow, which, and they don't give you a ton of bolts, so it's not like it's like too OP or anything like that. And there's a variety of enemies with armor and stuff on, so you can't just use the crossbow all the time. But I really like that story. I really liked where they took it. The ending was kind of wild.
Oh my gosh.
There's potential for a sequel, in a different time, so that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, again, like the gameplay wasn't super different, but I think the story is what really carried it for me.
Nice. Yeah, really, really great game.
Yeah.
Just did you like it more than the original? Like now that you've sat with it for a little bit?
I don't know. It's hard to like. I think the first one was obviously just so unique with its mechanics, with the slingshot and stuff like that. I think it plays better in the second one. Like there was less.
Yeah, I would say it's more polished.
Yeah, there was less BS moments. Like I didn't have a point in the game where where there was like two enemies running at me, and I couldn't deal with them because I wasn't quick enough with the slingshot. But yeah, I mean, there's some weird boss stuff, like boss areas and like areas where you get trapped and like 20 enemies are coming after you, and you kind of have to like maneuver around. Like that stuff is a little weird, a little frustrating at some points, but other than that, like that's really the only gripe I can think about with the game. So yeah, solid game.
Nice.
What is your number 4?
You ready for it?
I'm ready.
God of War Ragnarok.
God of War. Okay, nice. I honestly thought it would be lower on your list.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like in like the 7 or 8s.
Oh no! I thought it was a really amazing game. Yeah, like it kind of like a Plague Tale, right? It's a sequel, but it really doesn't do too much different.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because, I was watching your TikTok video that you made a few days ago where you're like, what do you expect a sequel to be?
Yeah.
Like, if you're expecting a sequel to be wildly different, you're expecting a different game.
Yeah.
And I think God of War, like it walks that line fairly well where it adds on to the mechanics from the first game or from, God of War 2018.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go like too crazy. And, I thought the story was really good.
Yeah, it's very rare when a sequel like does something completely new.
Yeah.
Than like the first one did, and we've had our conversations about God of War, and it's also hard to talk about this game on Twitter, on anywhere, just because people are just insane about it, and I think it's a really great game. I think it's a really, really solid sequel to a game that I don't know if I want to play again after it, like unless they do something wildly different.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like,
and it was a long game too. Like it's pretty long.
Like 35, 40 hours. Like that's a long time. It's a trek.
They announced a new game plus, and we're sitting there. I'm thinking about that, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to go back and play it." I'm like, "That's totally fine," but like that's to me, New Game Plus is Resident Evil. Like that is New Game Plus. That's one thing that like Callisto should have absolutely had in their game. There should that should not come secondhand. That should be a crucial part of your game. But I don't know. Teacher's own about that one.
Yeah, agreed.
My number 3 is God of War.
Okay. Oh, number 3.
Yes. Again, incredible story. I enjoyed my time through it. It did get very long in the tooth towards the end of that. Like I got tired of going in those like hub areas. Got tired of kind of the same old combat. Like I really didn't feel like there's so many armor choices you can have. There's so many like combinations you can unlock, and by the end of it, I just didn't feel like I was using the new stuff. I was just kind of using what I knew, and
Yeah.
that was getting me through it just fine. Um, and I also didn't really feel like the new weapon you got in the game, the one new weapon you get, is really that. It was a cool weapon in concept, but like I just didn't feel myself using it that much. So
Yeah, that's fair. I really didn't either. I didn't feel like the upgrades really did that much different either.
yeah, but yeah, God of War,
But
a great game. If that's the last God of War game with Kratos, I would be totally fine with it. And if they move on to like Atreus or something like that, that could be an interesting switch up. But um, I don't know. It may be 4 or 5 years from now, and they bring back Kratos. Like, my opinion may change, but after playing through this and really enjoying it, but it's a long game, long in the tooth with the combat. They'll have to do some things to switch up. But it's number 3 on my list. It's a really
yeah,
good
number three
game.
is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anything else on God of War?
No, I'm done. What's your number 3?
Number 3, Marvel Snap, baby.
I was waiting. I was wondering if that was going to come into play.
Yes, yeah, still playing this game. Still haven't fallen off.
Still playing it. Did you get the January battle pass?
I did, yeah. I don't like it as much, but
So
yeah, here I
how
am.
much have you dropped in this game? About $30 now? $40?
30 bucks.
Okay.
30 bucks.
Okay.
Which, like, for a game that I played for 3 months, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's respectable.
I've paid $60 for a game that I played for a weekend.
Yeah, that's very true.
So in that respect, it kind of makes sense. But
well, that's like back in the day when I played Hearthstone. Like, my wife Brittany would be like, "You paid $30 for a free to play game?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I put in like 80 hours, and then I just dropped $30. Like, they got it. They can have some money.
Like, they deserve it at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, for the unaware, it's a Marvel card. It's a Marvel deck builder card game.
Yeah.
Where you play against AI/real humans.
Who knows?
Yeah, no one knows. I think it's real humans at some point, but yeah, you can build your deck in like 1,000 different ways, and there's a bunch of different cool combinations you can do, and of course collecting all the characters is cool, and getting all their different arts, all their different like variants and stuff. But yeah, this is like the perfect game to play before you go to bed, or like right when you wake up in the morning, or if you're just like,
maybe
hanging
it's
out.
not, because then you spend 3 hours in bed playing it, and you're like, shit, it's 3 a.m. Let me go to bed.
Hold up, let me go to bed real quick. But before I do, let me get one more game in.
Yeah. So this game is not on my list. It's definitely gonna be an honorable mention though. But yeah, it's a great. It's probably one of the best deck builders out there. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple, so fast. Like, matches last 2 to 3 minutes.
It's like the perfect mobile game.
Yeah, like the deck sizes are. I think there's 15 cards a deck, maybe.
It's like 12.
12 cards a deck. So, like, so many different combinations you can do. So many you can synergize very well with all the cards. So
yeah, the decks are like, they're big enough to have like 2 like meta strategies, but small enough where you can really hone in on strategy. Like, you can build your deck around something and not like just rely on one card to do a thing. So it's really well thought out. It's obviously free to play, but you can get a battle pass. But yeah, it's you can earn cards for free, and
who would have thought a mobile game would be on your top 3?
Dude, holy crap!
Oh,
you were to tell me last year that a mobile card game would be on my top 3,
what do you mean?
I'd say no way.
I would say nay.
I would say no, sir.
All right. Anything last bit on the Snapperoni?
No more. All right. So we're getting into the top 2.
Do we have the same top 2?
I feel like we should say number 2 at the same time.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, yes.
I really thought this was going to be your number 3.
Really?
I thought
okay.
God of War was going to be number 2. Hell, I even thought maybe God of War would be 1 on your list.
Oh no way. I thought about it for a split second when I was playing through God of War.
Hmm.
But then after I got away from it, I was like, you know what? Like, it's okay to like, um, talk about sequels and stuff like that. But and granted, it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so whatever. But it's my first Xenoblade game. I played a couple of hours of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and it just didn't click with me. Um, and I picked this up. I think a few days later after this game came out.
Yeah.
You said you really liked it.
Thanks to OJ.
Yeah, and of
Thanks to
course,
Player
yeah,
Essence.
Player Essence was just absolutely hyping this thing up. But so I was very very worried that I would pick it up and I would drop off. And it did take me about a week or so to get into it. When I was in between my jobs, that's when I grinded down because I had that time, because it's a huge game. Um, but yeah, I mean everything about this. It's first of all, it's a beautiful game. It's
Yeah, it
it's
is.
really it's really a beautiful game. Yeah, it has some frame rate issues, especially with like you look at the flying monsters in the background; they're running at like
Mm.
three frames per second. But the story is incredible. It's unique. I thought the voice acting was amazing. I cared about there's so many characters in this game, and like everybody, all the voice acting, everyone did such a good job to make you care about all the characters, like
Hmm.
your main party that you have, the six people you have, um, just all super likable. They all go into like their
Yeah.
backstory. Um, nobody's annoying or overly annoying. Like everyone's, it's just got a lot of heart to it. Yeah,
Yeah. No one's like one note.
yeah,
Everyone has so much depth to them, and everyone that kind of like forms their own friendships and relationships with each other. And of course, like you have like the pair, like the Ouroboros pair upset. They're
yeah,
obviously closer. Um, but yeah, it really makes you care about these characters.
yeah,
I think this is my favorite Xenoblade game.
yeah. And I want to go back and play the other ones now. Um, and even like I'm thinking maybe you know with this potentially kind of jump into the future, but if Tears of the Kingdom is the rumored like last big like Switch game, and they don't release another Switch until maybe 2024. We could be getting some more remasters or remakes.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll see like Xenoblade Chronicles X come over from the Wii U, something like that to fill in the gap. So yeah, I want to play the other ones. But yeah, the combat was so fun. Just
Yeah,
the
even 60 hours in, like it was still fun to do a chain attack.
oh my gosh, yeah, the chain attacks were incredible. Like I'd be so excited every time once you sent me that video, that like 30 to
Yeah.
40 minute video of how they actually work, which maybe it's a detriment to the game. I don't really know. Um, but once I learned how that worked and like how you can really get that multiplayer going, I mean that was like so huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean just gosh man, everything about that story was just so unique, so incredible. You know, it was had me. It was dusty in the room like the latter half of that game for like the entire time. I was like, God, when's it gonna stop?
I know, like from that inflection point that
Chapter
we all
5.
know about. Yeah, chapter 5, like freaking like waterworks, dude, just
Yeah,
so sad, like so emotional, and then the song that plays at the end of that game, uh like I don't know, man, that just it hit me right in the feels.
yeah,
I'll go back and listen to it sometimes just to
yeah.
relive
The
the
music
moment.
was incredible. Like
Yeah.
I think the biggest snuff in gaming history is the fact that did not win best
What
music at
one was it God of War?
God of War one. I think right. Yeah, I think that. No,
Yeah,
maybe it was
dude.
Elden Ring. Was it Elden Ring that one?
No, I think it was God of War.
Biggest snuff in gaming history was yeah. That should have won best music for sure.
Yeah. It had like 130 individual tracks.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. You can't. That was BS.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but
It
aside
was
from that,
incredible.
yeah, this game is absolutely incredible. I think it does, out of all the Xenoblade games, it does the best job at tutorializing things
Yeah.
and making really complicated things kind of simple.
Yeah, I mean, like 15. I mean, you're constantly getting, not constantly, but like, yeah, every few hours or so, you're getting another addition to your combat, and it doesn't feel overwhelming. Where a lot of
Mhm.
games, very much so, can make it feel overwhelming, but this one just kind of eases you into it. Even 20 hours in, you're still learning new stuff. So
It's cool.
yeah, it's a truly incredible game, Nick. I appreciate you. You give me the hope of keep going on with that thing, because yeah, I'm glad I did not miss out on it.
Man, if you were to tell yourself a year ago that Xenoblade Chronicles would be on your top two, what would you be saying to yourself right now?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say it wasn't impossible, but I would. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
Man, this guy's a weeb now.
I'm a weeb. Yeah, I felt like a weeb. I was like, can you guys just kiss already?
Just
Jesus.
kiss.
uh all right, so we're done, right? That's it.
Yep, that's it. Did anything else come out this year?
I don't know. Maybe this the biggest game of the generation.
Oh, you're not talking about the Elden Ring, are you?
I think I am, Nick.
Elden Ring, number
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Obviously, Elden Ring. I mean,
Literally the easiest number one I've ever had in my life.
that's what I started with. I was just like, oh, okay, Elden Ring.
Yeah,
All right, what
and work
else?
backwards.
Yeah, I worked backwards.
I mean,
Um,
what can we say that we haven't said about this game before?
yeah, you know, it, FromSoft is just they've got that swagger, man. They just got
Mhm.
it. I don't know what, like, just everything they put out is just pure gold. You know,
Yep.
I was already hyped for Elden Ring, just for my love for FromSoft, and obviously Bloodborne and all the Dark Souls games and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, this game was truly special. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like everyone's like main criticism about the game is, oh, it's just Dark Souls open world. No, it's not. Like, yes, it is Dark Souls, but and it is open world, but they created one of the greatest open world games of all time. Like, one of the
Yeah.
greatest just open world areas of all time. They created the best horse riding experience of all
They
time.
did. They did.
So it's not just a Dark Souls with an open world. Um, I mean, just the fact that, like Breath of the Wild, you could just go out and just go in a direction, and you can spend hours and hours and hours, and not get anywhere in the story, but have your own unique experiences that no one else has or has had at
Yeah.
that point. So yeah, man.
And and I think that's the most special part of gaming. And I've heard your stories of playing Skyrim with your friends and having those moments
Yeah.
and sharing those experiences. And then of course Breath of the Wild, we were swapping stories and talking all about that, all about our time with the game. And then you have a game like Elden Ring that, from the start, from walking out of the area at the beginning, like
Yeah.
you can go anywhere you want. You can go left, you can go right, you can go straight. You can go to a cave over there. You can go to a cave somewhere else. You can try to go straight to the first major boss if you
Yeah.
want to.
Or beat your head against the tree sentinel, like, for the first time. Like,
Yeah, I did
that's
that a few
that's the first
times.
thing I did. I was like, oh, let me get this guy, and then nope. All right, well, let me go in like 1,000 other directions.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it just, and the way it guides you throughout the world, um, is so good. Like, there's so many points of grace. So,
hmm
you explore and you find a grace, and yeah, it's not quite the same as like another like Dark Souls, where you, oh my, you just ran through all these enemies and you're about to die, and you find a bonfire and you're like, yes, finally, and then you open up a secret passage back to, like, that wraps around whatever.
yeah,
Um, you don't have quite as many experiences like that, and I could see why people maybe don't like that as much, but there also are castles and caves and other things that give you that dark Souls gameplay that you're looking to find,
Yeah.
plus a giant open world where you can find a bunch of other stuff in there, other bosses and stuff like that. So, oh, man, what a game!
And and then like the side quests and all like the little stories that you can have with like Ronnie
Mommy
and
Ronnie.
the Jar Man, all those other people.
Yeah.
Like, ah, it's just amazing. Like, one of my favorite games of all time.
Some of the coolest fights in gaming, like Radon, like fighting Radon for the first time and like going out in that battlefield, and then if you
Epic.
survive enough the first time for him to fly up in the freaking sky and come back down as a meteor, like utter nonsense, utter anime nonsense. And then going down, I can't remember the name, but where it's part of Ronnie's quest or whatever, when you go down underground,
Oh,
and like it's just so beautiful with like all the like the starry like sky
yeah.
and stuff, like so many, so many videos of showing off your epic gear with that
Oh yeah.
backdrop, like
There's a
it
lot of good stuff, a lot of cool moments.
it's very rare when a game comes out and there's just so much zeitgeist, and obviously that helps with like thinking back in February when you were playing that game. But just TikTok was utter nonsense. I mean, I can't remember her name, but that the middle of the night person that sung that song, like that became like Elden Ring's like unofficial, you know,
Oh yeah.
gaming song out of nowhere. Like there was just so many good things, and but all that aside, like the game was just amazing. It was just
It was just yeah, it like it had that Breath of the Wild moment where you like unveil another part of the map, or you like get a little bit past Limgrave.
yeah,
You're like, holy shit, there's another one of these. Like
yeah,
it's that big, but it's not overwhelming
no,
because you're not bombarded with like side quest markers and waypoints and all that stuff. It's just like, hey,
yes,
if you see this and you're interested in it, then go there. But if not, then do something else. Like you're not forced to go in any direction. There's 1,000 caves for you to go in if you want to, but a lot of most of it's optional. Like, I mean, we played through the game in 5 hours at one point. Like
yeah.
most of it is an optional part of the game.
Yeah, and
And
I
that's
think
what's
I
so
think
cool.
that's what I love so much about it too, is because it's this massive open world game, and you nailed it on the head. Like you're not getting bombarded with side quests and
Mm,
way markers and stuff like that. It's just you, your trusty steed, and what you can see in front of you, and that's where you go.
yeah,
And if you feel like you're getting a little bit overwhelmed with, you go into Caelid for the first time, and you're like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. Just go back to
just
another
go
grace
back
point
home.
and go in another direction. And then when you feel like you're ready, you're never ready for Caelid, but you know,
Still not ready.
yeah. So I mean, again, like you said, I mean, we've talked this game up all year. We still have so much good things to say about it. You know,
Yeah, like
almost a year out of it. So I mean,
I I didn't have a bad experience with that game. There wasn't like a single moment. Well, maybe aside from
the last boss fight, I hated that thing. But other
yeah,
than that,
that and the double boss fight.
oh, the Godskin duo.
Yeah, the Godskin duo.
Yeah,
They were pretty bullshit. But
yeah, they were. They were.
that was a tough area.
It was. Yeah.
Fair Missoula. That was hard.
Yeah. And then just like all the dragons, like were so cool looking and just epic.
Yeah.
Um,
What was your first boss that you defeated?
oh my gosh. I think it was the Jarhead guy, the one that's like kind of to the
Oh,
right when you leave. It's like where that giant
yeah.
mushroom thing is. Like I can't remember the name of it, but I think that was the first one I beat.
I didn't fight
But
him
it was
until
like a
the
mini
end.
boss technically, so not like a main boss.
Okay. Mine was it was like a giant in one of the caves.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I
So
didn't fight that boss that you fought until like the end of the game.
yeah, it was. You were like 40 or 50 hours in. I was like, yeah, there's a guy over there. So yeah, just stuff like that. Like
Wildly different.
the fact that like that was like so close in the game that you missed it, and 50 hours later, you're coming back to the very start of the game
Yeah.
to do something you hadn't done before. So yeah, just like Breath of the Wild, just really like one like I know people are tired of hearing about Elden Ring, but I mean, just it really is like one in like a 5 year type of game that just
Yeah.
turns the gaming industry on its head, and hopefully Tears of the Kingdom is that way for us again. Because
I hope
that's
so.
the only thing I can think. I mean, maybe Starfield, but I don't know. That's so up in the air with Bethesda. And how janky it is, but an Elden Ring just ran so well. So
Yeah, those
we'll
are kind
see.
of the big two.
We'll see.
Elden Ring.
Game of the year, man.
Congratulations to Elden Ring. Shall we do our honorable mentions?
Yeah, let's cut the feed real quick and then come back so we have some time to wrap up.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll do our honorable mentions here in a second, but we'll just go down the list one more time. At number 10 for Nick, A Plague Tale Requiem. For myself, it was Splatoon 3. At number 9 for Nick, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. For me, it's Bayonetta 3. At number 8, Mario and Rabbids and the Sparks of Hope. High on Life for me at number 8. Number 7 for Nick is Triangle Strategy. Mine was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. At number 6, it was Pokemon Legends Arceus. For me, it was Signalis. And then at the top 5, we got Neon White for Nick, Pokemon Legends Arceus for me. At number 4 for Nick, God of War Ragnarok, A Plague Tale Requiem for myself. And then at number 3, top 3, Marvel Snap for Nick. At number 3 for myself, God of War Ragnarok. And then both of us at 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And then number 1, Game of the Year, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yes. What are some of your honorable mentions, Nick?
Dude, I got a lot.
Just so they can get credit.
Yeah. Cult of the Lamb.
Okay. Yep.
Great. Great dungeon crawler / like management sim game. That's just really fun. I recommend just naming the characters after your friends, and then it makes it way more fun and enjoyable.
Nice.
High on Life. Super funny game. It was on my top 10 at one point, and I took it out for Plague Tale.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I loved this game. This is so fun. Ollie Ollie Worlds, fantastic skateboarding game that was also on my list at one point or another. I need to jump into the DLC for that one. And then obviously Signalis, amazing horror game in the style of Resident Evil, like Harrison talked about. And then Chained Echoes, I've only played a few hours of, but I'm really enjoying it. And then lastly, Tinykin. It's
okay.
like a Pikmin style game, very short, like 6 hours, but I had a blast when I played it. And it's very, very, very fun game. So I'd totally recommend it to anyone.
Sweet.
What you got?
All right, so I don't really have many. I just got Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I know that game probably could have maybe potentially been on my top 10. Just didn't have time to play it. Didn't, in a little bit of that gaming slump at the moment, but we'll see. And then I also wanted to mention Tunic. I did like that game. I think maybe it just came out so close to Elden Ring for me that I was just after Elden Ring, I needed a break, and I played through it. I got a few hours in, and the game's tough. It's a tough game. But I really liked the overworld. I really loved like what they did with the manual. That was so unique, and how you progress in the game by figuring out like matching up the pages and figuring out what to do in like certain areas. That I thought that was so cool. But I just didn't really vibe with the combat too much. I ended up about halfway through. I just turned on. I used one of the accessibility options, which would turn off damage. I just did that. And just went through just ran through it, and really enjoyed it after that. So yeah, for that reason alone, I couldn't put it on my top 10 because of that. But I wanted to give it a shout out because it's a really cool game.
Yeah, it is, and I kind of have the same sentiment as you, where it was just like it's really difficult, and there was one part in particular that's just like extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's a great game, I think, overall.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it definitely deserved a shout out. All right, but that is our top 10 game of the year for 2022.
2022.
2023 is going to be absolutely bonkers if everything
Everything
comes
holds
out.
true.
Yeah, it doesn't get delayed. Um, so we'll see what how that lies at the end of the year. We'll probably do a normal like mid year, kind of see where we're at in some of our favorite games without necessarily ranking them. Um, but yeah, I
I
think
got one more question for you.
yeah, yeah.
Comparing your list here, 2022, comparing that to 2021, which year do you think was the better year overall?
I tried to pull up the 2021 list, but I had it from Apple, so it was the pages, so I didn't see what it was. Do you have it?
Of your top 10?
Yeah.
No, I just have mine.
What was your top 10? Mine was probably
Uh,
somewhat similar.
well, this is 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I know if you're talking about 2020. Metroid Dread, Halo Infinite, It Takes Two, Resident Evil
Oh yeah,
Village,
yeah.
Death's Door.
Do you have 20? I'm sorry. Do you have 2020?
Yeah, it's 2020. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Last of Us 2, Ori Will of the Wisp, and this is going down from number one. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or no, Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Yep.
Mario 3D All Stars, Resident Evil 3, Crosscode, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 Plus 2, Animal Crossing, Paper Mario Origami King. Oh, that's 10. Yeah, I think that's definitely a weaker year
I think so. Yeah.
compared to
Resident Evil 3 I
2022.
liked a lot, but it was not as good as 2. Obviously Last of Us Part 2 was incredible. I liked Valhalla way more than you did, I think. I think that
Yeah,
was my game of the year that year actually.
it wasn't Last of Us.
I don't think it was. I think Last of Us was maybe number 2. I think Will of the Wisp was number 3, which will oh my god, Will, if we can get another Ori, I would be that'd be amazing. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think 22 is the better year. So,
and
I think so.
compared to 2021, do you think 2022 was still the better year?
2020 I don't know, man. 2021 had some good stuff.
Like it had Village, it had Dread, it had Infinite, It Takes Two. But then you look at 2022 and you got Elden Ring, Xenoblade 3, God of War, Pokemon Legends,
I think for
Plague
me,
Tale.
yeah, because like I had like Outriders on my list, Forza 5, which I thought was really good. Forza Horizon 5,
Mhm.
that was really good. Um, I didn't finish It Takes Two at the time. Little Nightmares was good. Um, Bowser's Fury was pretty solid. Psychonauts 2 was really good, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Metroid Dread was really, really good. Uh,
We should do a podcast where we rank our top three games from each year
yeah,
and put those together, rank them
that
against
would be
each
really
other.
fun. Yeah, we should do that for sure. I'm gonna go with this year's better. I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think so. Just with Elden Ring and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 alone, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And then add God of War and Plague Tale and you know.
I'll have to look back at 2019, but I know Sekiro was our number one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we recorded that with Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sekiro. I think Sekiro, Gears 5 was mine. I think number 2. And then what? Yeah, I'll have to
Wasn't
go
like
back
Luigi's
and
Mansion on there or something? I had played it, I guess. You
I
hadn't yet.
hadn't played it at the time. Yeah, I'll have to go back and listen and figure it out. And then yeah, maybe that'd be really fun. Um, doing that at some point this year.
Yeah.
Going back and doing that. Well, sweet. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the show, everyone. We appreciate everyone that's listening. Please let us know what your guys' top 10 is. Do you agree with our top 3, our top 5? Let us know. We're certainly interested in hearing what you guys think. I don't think we really have anything major coming up, Nick. A potential direct maybe. I think if we don't get an announcement for a direct this week, we won't get one until February.
Wow, that's bold.
But I also think like Do they have a Fire Emblem Direct, like just like a standalone Fire Emblem Direct? Do they do
No,
one?
I don't think so at this point.
You don't
It's
think so? Too
too
close.
close.
Okay,
Yeah, it comes out next week.
that's
I
true.
mean, I think Xbox has that presentation on the 25th. That's rumored.
Okay. Oh yeah, they've got to have something. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know about Nintendo.
Yeah.
I thought there would be something last week. I thought maybe this week, but looking less likely.
Yeah.
I guess it's only Monday, but
Yeah. Oh, maybe
we can always
maybe
hope.
tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. We always say that. All right. Well, we will. Nick, where can they follow us on our stuff?
You can follow us on Twitter at Gaming WT Bros. We do a lot of tweeting there. If you want to email us, you can email us at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com. If you want to follow us on Twitch or not Twitch. Yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram, you can do at Gaming with the Broscast.
Yes.
And that's all in the description stuff. So if you want to like ask us any questions, we'll answer them on air. We want to hear your top 10, your top 3 games of 2022. So throw them at us.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, we will see you guys back with a normal show next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.